Happy Saturday, everyone. We are live here again. Seems like a good time on Saturdays. I love the energy of Saturdays. I was actually gonna just pop on and write a post. I'm in the middle of creating something at the moment, and I actually really want your feedback. So I've been digging deep into how I want to work with people next and what kind of group I feel would be just fun and helpful. And I'm aware that something that most of us struggle with, or we have struggled with in the past, or we go through phases of struggling with it, is our fitness, our well-being, our health, our relationship with food, our relationship to exercise, and finding what really works for us. I graduated from IIN, the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and something that they talk about a lot there is bio-individuality and discovering what really works for you as the individual. So as we're all aware, there's a ton of different kinds of diets and diet programs out there, and there's a ton of information about what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, and it can get really confusing. And whilst there's certainly rules and there's certainly things that you definitely should do or shouldn't do, really it also comes down to the individual and finding what really works for you. For example, you could be a raw foodist, you could be a vegan, you could be paleo. So it just depends on what your body's needs are. And the way I like to think of food is as our medicine, and finding a way to heal the body through how we're eating. But one thing that I don't really talk about that much, and it's a really big part of my journey, was I was a fitness competitor for a long time. Some of you know that who know me. Through that journey, I learned how to follow a regimen, how to diet, how to eat low carbs. And this was a long time ago now. I started back in college. And I, did the whole high protein, low carbohydrate workout like a crazy person. And, when I first did that, it was amazing because what I learned was discipline. What I learned was that you can transform your body based on what you're eating and based on what you're doing. Now that journey, and I won't talk about all that here, but that journey took me all the way to my knees. Yeah, it took me, hi Gail, consistency with fitness and balancing, yes. Oh, cool, thank you, that's awesome. And I'm actually asking for your guys' questions because I'm putting together a Facebook Live, a series of videos that I wanna do live with you guys where I really wanna address your challenges and your obstacles and your questions. And I'm actually putting something together that if you're into those videos and you like those videos and you wanna go deeper, you can do that. But so what I mean by my fitness journey, it took me to my knees because all the things that worked originally stopped working. I became a slave to dieting. I became a slave to working out. And there was this really unhealthy level of guilt that I would experience when I didn't eat exactly how I was supposed to eat and when I didn't work out exactly as much as I was supposed to. Now I say supposed to in quotations because I was the only person who was making myself do that. And I'll go deeper into, in the series of videos, why we do those things and why we hold ourselves to those kinds of expectations. Because there's a difference between discipline and what we make ourselves do because we don't feel like we're enough if we don't. So the journey of fitness really brought me to my knees, really showing me that what I was doing wasn't working and that there was a better way. And again, I don't want to get into all that here on this video, but I am going to be sharing more about that journey and how I went from fitness into personal training, and then how I went from personal training into yoga and being more of a coach. And briefly, one of the reasons why is because I saw what works and what doesn't. I saw that we can get really caught up in the wrong ways of doing things. So we can get really caught up in what other people are telling us we should eat, how we should work out, what's good for us, what's bad for us. And what I would see with my clients is they would come in and they would you know, they would say that they want to lose weight, or they want to get a six-pack, or they want to be more fit. And I would do that with them. We'd go through the 90-day journey of transforming their bodies. And what always happened at the end of that is that they might maintain it for a little while, but they would always come back, you know, to where they were beforehand. And then they would become a slave of food. Then they would become a slave of their exercise. And what I could see was that we weren't addressing things that were deeper than that. And so they weren't really experiencing the level of happiness and joy that they thought, you know, being fit was going to give them. Now, let's be real. When we're healthy and when we're fit, we feel better, right? We feel better. We're happier. Everything is better. Intimacy is better. Going to the grocery store is better. Getting dressed is better. It all feels better, but it has to come from the right place. And so what I'm doing is putting together a series of videos to really address when we get stuck on that roller coaster, when we get stuck on that yo-yo, and why that's happening. Because it's like we hear all the time, you know, eat this way and do this, and then so many people do it and they don't get results, right? And why do you think that is? So there is a deeper aspect to fitness. There is a deeper aspect to being healthy. We have to be able to do the deeper inner work. And sometimes that scares people, like, oh no, I don't want to do this deeper inner work. And it's really not scary, but it is necessary for us to do the deeper inner work, for us to achieve a level of health and well-being, but more than that, acceptance and love for our bodies, our physical bodies, making peace with our food, right? That's what it requires. So I just want to hear, what are your questions? What are the things that you're challenged by? What are the obstacles? What are the patterns? Like, what are the things that you find yourself going through over and over and over again? Where are you getting stuck? And I want to know, because in the next 4 weeks, once a week, I want to do a Facebook Live video to address those questions, to address those obstacles, to address those challenges. And tell me, like, what have you been told that works that maybe you haven't tried it and you want to know more about it, or maybe you have tried it and it hasn't worked. You know, sharing those things with me as well, so we can really talk about what it actually takes to get off the roller coaster, what it actually takes to wake up in the morning and love who you are, what it actually takes to make peace with your physical body, right? What it actually takes to make peace with your food, right? These are the things that I want to address. And there's a whole lot of other things that we'll get to address as well, because there's a whole lot of other things that are involved in that process. But I want to hear from you. So it's very important for me to hear your questions and your comments as I'm creating these videos, as I'm writing the outline, as I'm deciding what we're going to talk about, what we're not going to talk about. And a big part of that is I'm going to be sharing my journey as well. My journey from when I discovered fitness, when I first discovered, you know, dieting and how to transform my own body, and the journey that took me on, you know, and how it was such a huge personal growth journey for me. And I don't really talk about that very much. I don't talk about what I learned in that. I don't talk about how it brought me to my knees many, many, many times. I don't talk about how it was the catalyst for my addictions. And that is what happened. You know, that journey was a catalyst for a very addictive behavior that was very unhealthy. But at the end of the bottom line was there was no love. You know, there was no love in me for myself. So if you guys are just joining, welcome here. Hi, Katie. Gosh, hi, everybody. I'm just like rambling here. So if you're just joining, I'm just asking, what are your questions and your challenges? What are your obstacles? What are the patterns that are repeating themselves over and over again in your life when it comes to your health, when it comes to your fitness, when it comes to your exercise, when it comes to your food, right? And it might be like you're getting tripped up in your diet, or it might be like no matter what you do, you just can't accept your body the way that it is. It might be you're confused between like, do I eat like this or do I eat like that? You know, these people say that this way, this paleo way is the way to go. And these people talk about vegan is the way to go. Should I be eating raw? Should I be eating cooked? I want to know all of those questions. I want to know all of those challenges and obstacles that you have. And then if there's deeper stuff too, right? Like where are the places that you're getting frustrated? What are the things about yourself you can't accept, right? And what's your ideal outcome? What would you like to experience when it comes to your health and your fitness, your relationship with your body, your relationship with food? And for those of you, because I know some of you that are here, you've got that, you've achieved that. You know, you've gone through a very similar journey as I, especially you, Katie. We've gone through similar journeys where, you know, we found the fitness and we found this sort of very fitness way of eating and high protein and lots of chemicalized protein powders and all of those things. And then we learned more about how to do this in a way that's more natural and organic and that's actually in flow of what your body really wants. So right back at you. So definitely you guys, and if you are watching this, the recorded version of this, if you're not here live with me, this video will still be up. So please post your questions, your comments. If you're not comfortable putting the comments where everybody can see them, I totally get that. Just private message me. And starting next week, I'll do the first video of 4, where we'll talk about the things that you're getting tripped up about. We'll talk about my story and how I went from being a fitness competitor to why I am where I am today, and how being in the fitness world really transformed me. First made me hit rock bottom, you know, brought me to my knees, and then transformed me in a really beautiful, profound way. And I'll share that with you. But also the practicality of yo-yo dieting, you know, the practicality of roller coaster, you know, that some of us get caught on and stuck on. The practicality of that most people wake up every single day and they don't like themselves. They don't like their bodies. They're not happy. You know, they feel like crap. So I want to address all of that too. So thank you for being here. If you guys have any questions right now, I'd love for you to post them. If not, you can, you know, sit on it, meditate on it, think about it, and then post here later or contact me just through private messaging. So, and then stay tuned. This video the first of 4 videos will post next week. So I think if you guys don't have any questions, we'll just leave it there today. Sending all of you so much love, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Bye.